What's up, you guys? It's 2Bricks, and I have a interesting new addition to my micro fleet to show you today. That is the oft requested Gozanti-Class Cruiser right here, which I can't even count the amount of times that people have requested this one, so I'm really happy to be bringing it to you guys finally. And then I just have a couple of little additions here too. A couple of walkers. This one is the ATDP from Star Wars Rebels, and this one is the ATDT from Solo: A Star Wars Story. And then I just did a tiny little modification to my Imperial tank from Rogue One. So I'll be showing you guys all of those close up. But I'm just really excited to get into showing you this cruiser because I shared a photo of it on Instagram a couple of days ago. You guys might have seen that if you follow me. Links down in the description for my social media channel, so you guys can see some little kind of snippets before I release videos. So for those of you who did see that, you might notice that this looks quite a bit different than that, and I've definitely made some substantial improvements in the overall form since then, so I'm definitely excited to show you guys what I've done. Let's just dive right in and take a look at the new ships. Alright guys, so I'll get the small ones out of the way. So first up is the ATDP here from Rebels. Really did get that out of the way, dang. This is the very tall-legged walker that we see patrolling around Lothal and a lot of Imperial controlled areas in Rebels. I really wanted to get this one in here because I already had an AT, man, my ATs are escaping me today. I really wanted to get in there because I had the AT-ST already, which of course everybody knows from now The Mandalorian, but also Return of the Jedi, Rogue One, etc. So I figured, you know, this guy's its big brother, that should be in there. It has a little minifig hand representing a very large cannon that is on a swiveling kind of ball turret right there. It has the classic kind of chicken walker type of design, except obviously with much taller legs. And it has these little two kind of side pods, which have some viewing areas, or I think actually weapons mounted on those. And yeah, this is a fun one. We got an official Lego set for this one, and it was a really nice looking piece. And yeah, I just wanted to get this one in the series because it's small and easy to do, and I can just go ahead and do it. So there it is next to that again. And then we have the AT, let's move this guy over. We have the AT-DT. Yes, the man, the all-terrain defense turret. This is the all-terrain defense pod, so ATDP. This one was in Solo, and you could see the AT haulers were coming in to the battlefield on Mimban and were dropping these off. They had them kind of suspended by cables, so these would come in and drop these guys off into the battlefield. And essentially what you have is just a platform where some Imperial troops can stand, which I just have this little gap in here for the hinge brick kind of indicates that. And then you have this front, basically it's like a wall that's just like a movable defensive wall with a gun sticking out of it, and you just basically push through the battlefield and just fire straight ahead and try not to get shot, and hopefully nobody has any overhead ordnance that they can throw over the top of that wall. But that's essentially what you have here. It's a walking riot shield, I guess. So yeah, that one's a fun one too, and again, just felt like since it was small enough, I wanted to get it in the fleet. And just it was a quick one that I could do, so there that is. And then last of all, we have this quick update here to my Imperial tank from Rogue One. All that I did was I removed the clear stud underneath because somebody pointed out to me that it is incorrectly referred to as a repulsor lift tank or a hover tank by a lot of the toys and marketing materials, which I was paying attention to when Rogue One came out. But it actually ended up having treads in the movie, and so it is a grounded vehicle that just rolls around like a normal tank. So I just went ahead and took it off of its suspended base, and that's the only difference that you can see there. So there is the Imperial tank, and there's my two new walkers. And then, oh, and while I have these here, let me just show you a couple of little additional scale things. We have my new AT-AT walker design, the AT-ACT. You can kind of see how those stack up. Here's a little AT-ST, and finally a London double-decker bus. So there you go, some ideas for different kind of real-world scale translations for you there. So let's move on to the next one. All right, so here is the Gozanti-Class Cruiser, the main event of this video. And once I'm done, I'm going to give you guys a look at this next to all of my other Imperial craft. But for now, I'll give you a couple of different size comparisons so you can just get a rough idea. Here it is next to the Ghost. which is obviously seen alongside it on screen a lot in Star Wars Rebels. Here they are kind of level with each other, so you can get a good sense of how long they are. So the Ghost is pretty comparable, actually. I was kind of surprised by how small the Gozanti was in comparison. The proportions are a little bit cartoonified due to the fact that I have these oversized TIE fighters. And actually, technically, this is a new TIE fighter design, so I'll be showing you guys that as well. But the whole idea of this cruiser is that it's a small kind of patrol vehicle that the Empire would use for more kind of low-value targets, so backwater planets like Lothal, and kind of low-value systems. They would just have a couple of these cruising around. They have 4 TIE fighters on the underside here that they can just deploy, which makes them, kind of effective for dealing with smaller problems where they don't need massive Star Destroyers and cruisers and things. So in the lore, this is a pretty cool, kind of fleshed out vehicle. It has a long history. The first one of these I think we ever see is in the Phantom Menace in the background, although it was a slightly different civilian variant with a more kind of sloped front. But this is the Imperial, more boxy, militarized variation here. It's got 2 laser cannons, one on top and one on bottom, which are on swiveling turrets, so I messed up my configuration of my TIE fighters here. Everything's coming apart. 1 second. All right, there you go. It's easy to fix. So yeah, turrets on top and bottom, which provide a good kind of rear defense for this thing. I'm not really sure what it does to defend itself from the front, though. I guess deploys the TIE fighters if it needs to defend itself from the front. Yeah, and then, sorry, it's just bugging me that this is not straight now. There we go. So I tried to capture the overall form of this thing as much as possible. The most tricky part of that was this front section, and that was actually what promoted me to do a little quick revisit on this after I posted the original one. The windshield section was just bugging me because it's such a specific shape, and I just didn't feel like I really captured that on the model that I had before. It was the window was too boxy. It was just, it didn't look right. So I went ahead and revisited that, and with the new kind of technique I have here of offsetting these bracket pieces with the cheese slopes in the front, it leaves this nice little gap here, which is very Imperial to me. These kind of little window slits, and then I have this tile in the middle here, which is the trans black color, so that gives a nice kind of dark but kind of see-through windshield. I think it has a really good effect. So I think this shape captures the look of this thing much more closely. It kind of has that evil tiki face look to it, which the real thing has. So I like that. Kind of almost looks like teeth down here and eyes and stuff. So yeah, I like that about it. And then just all the little color scheme changes, I try to keep that pretty consistent to the real thing. Got these little fins back here which poke up, and I wanted to get those in there. This kind of grill looking thing here. The way that these engines are embedded, I actually redesigned the wings to be able to accommodate that, because previously I just had a little sloped piece and then a bracket off of the back and then just connected the engines. They didn't have any of this nice round shape coming through here, and I really want to try to get as much of that in there as I can, because I recently redesigned my Naboo cruiser, and I found that just getting the rounded engines in there really helped sell the realism and the look of it. So that was something I wanted to make sure I did on this one. It has a little offset dish on the one side, which I think is a cool feature of this craft. It's it's cool that it just has one bit of asymmetry to the design. I really like the way the different panels come together, and then there's those little kind of greebly details in the middle. This part was kind of tricky to figure out because there's this sloped shape that's pretty specific, and then you have these windows at the front here, so I'm pretty happy with the solution that I came up with for that. Yeah, and then just the back here we have the 3 engines. This one is an engine as well, I just don't have any glow or anything flaring out of that. It has that nice kind of narrowing of the frame, and I think it just works out really well for what this craft is supposed to look like in universe, so really happy with that. So yeah, I'll show you the new tie design. It's only new in the sense that I switched out the middle to be this regular 1x1 brick with the 5 studs on the side. And the reason that I did that is because previously I had one of those minifigure neck brackets that gave me the top stud on here, and I just used a piece that had 2 studs on either side. And I like that design, but it's kind of fragile with those neck bracket pieces. They tend to break pretty easily. So yeah, I just went ahead and switched those out. This is much sturdier and actually less pieces, so that's a win-win. And then here is the kind of little docking clamp thing in here that holds the ties in place, and obviously this is kind of like acts like a what do you call it? Like a, yeah, I guess a docking bay, in the sense that the tie pilots come down this little elevator thing and board their ties from the top, and then detach and take off and can do their Imperial missions. So that works out really well, and I like the look of this thing. Like, it's so unique. When you see this, you first see it and you realize what's under here is a squadron of TIE fighters, or, well, not enough for squadron, but a complement, I guess. I think that's such a cool realization. Like, that was one of the coolest things about Rebels to me, was the new ship designs, and I thought this was a really inventive way to use this one. So yeah, I really, really love this design, and I'm super glad to have it amongst my fleet. So there is the Gozanti-Class Cruiser. Instructions will be coming soon, by the way. I know you guys are going to ask me, so just, yeah, they'll be on the way soon. So yeah, Gozanti-Class, welcome to the fleet. And I'll just freehand this bit to show you guys the Gozanti alongside all of its Imperial counterparts. I'm really, really happy with how my Imperial presence is growing, especially once I have the Aquitane's Command Cruiser in here. That's the one that's like twice or 3 times the length of the Raider class Corvette back there. It's really going to bulk up the whole thing, and I really like that I have this kind of medium-sized cruiser in here now. And oh, I just placed my double-decker bus in here just because I forgot to show you guys before the scale comparison. So that gives you an idea of how large this thing is. So get out of here, you real-world vehicle, you don't belong in here. So yeah, there's the whole kind of the different shuttles. Oh man, the Krennic shuttle is really getting lost back there against that stand. Yeah, Krennic shuttle and the Rogue One Zeta class and the Lambda. Got all my ATs down here, my TIE Advanced and TIE Bomber, and all my other weird variations of TIEs, my 2 Walkers, and of course the Raider class. So yeah, I think my Imperial Navy is really coming along, and I think I can safely say this is no longer the weakest faction amongst my fleet. I don't know who is now, probably the Separatists, I guess. They have a pretty lackluster showing. So yeah, it's just nice to be able to beef up, you know, since the Empire is such a gigantic presence in the Star Wars universe, but all of their ships are so dang big that it's just hard to get the ones that I can build. Yeah, so there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed taking a look at all these together. And I thank you guys for watching the series so far. I know you guys have been really, really patient with me with new content, and I've been kind of slow on the old release schedule there compared to before. So I really do appreciate you guys sticking with me on that. You guys know it's challenging times, and this isn't my full-time job, although I would like it to be one day. But yeah, it's just one of those things. So again, your patience is very much appreciated. All right, guys, so yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Plenty more ships along the way to be done still. And yeah, I'll just have to see you guys on the next video. So thanks again, and may the Force be with you.